This is Appalling News, your most trusted source for fake real news. I'm Paul Chatto. The big news that has rocked the free world is the almost retirement of Canadian Liberal junta leader Generalissimo Justin Trudeau. In a bold move emblematic of Trudeau's decisive leadership, he has decided to sort of quit after 9 disastrous years where he was propped up by the far-left New Democratic Party. Rather than walking off into the sunset satisfied that Canada currently has the highest level of debt in its history, he has chosen to dissolve Parliament and stick around until the end of March, during which the Liberal government will select a sacrificial cow to lose the upcoming election, according to recent polling data. We are certain that candidates will be falling all over themselves to be the one to lead the Liberals to the most decisive defeat in party history. We can hardly wait to find out who that historical footnote will be. There is fear, the way things are looking, that the Liberals might lose official party status, which requires, at minimum, 12 elected members. Political parties without official party status lose parliamentary privileges and have to move their offices next to the furnace in the basement of Parliament Hill. What's in Justin's future? Who would take our woke feminist narcissist who proudly claimed that Canada was a post-nationalist nation that doesn't have Canadian values? Who wouldn't want a leader of a country who doesn't believe in the country they are leading? Look out, UN. Here comes your new cabin boy. Elon Musk looks to have stepped into multiple poo piles. As was reported on our sister channel, Call Me Chatto, while it might have been easy for Musk to buy Twitter and fire 80% of its staff, it is a very different thing to use one social media bully pulpit to attack world leaders and comment on the controversial affairs of another country, even if you are correct. Sorry, what we meant was especially if you are correct. The backlash from countries which don't want their dirty laundry aired by the world's richest man has been severe. French President Macron accusing the tech billionaire of interfering with elections with his right-wing doctrines and saying the 2012 Bordeaux sucked. Germany is in a tizzy because he called Olaf Scholz, the chancellor, an incompetent fool, described President Frank-Walter Steinmeier as an anti-democratic tyrant. Oh, come on, you krauts, get a sense of humor. In Norway, Jonas Gahr Støre, the Prime Minister, said he was concerned by Musk's interventions. I find it worrying that a man with enormous access to social media and huge economic resources involves himself so directly in the internal affairs of other countries. This is not how things should be between democracies and allies. Of course, Norway involved themselves in the affairs of another country and has sided with a terrorist state in the Middle East and against the only democracy in the region. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is considering severing ties with the U.S. if President Trump does not rein in Musk, because saying bad things about England on X will get you 15 years in prison. Elon would be better off if he just shut up and groomed a 12-year-old. Nothing would happen then. In our news section called Appallingly Good News, we have 2 items. First up, Mark Zukerberg, CEO of Meta, has announced that he's getting rid of the human fact-checkers at Facebook and replacing them with a community note system similar to X's. He's finally realized that his meat puppets tended to skew a bit to the left, which comes as a shock to no one. The key takeaway here is that as the rest of the semi-free world clamps down on services such as Facebook and X, they will need the full weight of the U.S. government to protect them in jurisdictions with little or no freedom of speech, such as the UK, EU, Australia, and Canada. And it looks like they have an ally in President Trump. Second item, University of Alberta ditches DEI policies in favor of intellectual freedom. Well, that gives us hope for the new year. University of Alberta President Bill Flanagan announced that the post-secondary institution intends to shift away from diversity, equity, and inclusion policies effective immediately. It represents the school's commitment to realigning with the foundational values of a public university, which include curiosity, rigorous inquiry, and the search for truth. We are shocked. The decision marks the first university in Canada to return to a merit-based system, but the DEI CRT gender studies crowd has already come out screeching against this change. They will not go quietly, as there is no money to be made supporting fairness and equality. This is appalling news, and that's the way it is.